Well, I don't want to say grand rising because it's evening time, but I do want to do a quick video. I want to give a few people some time to get on here because I really do want, some engagement. And so if y'all take forever to come on and nobody comes into the chat, with enough time to engage into this conversation, then I'm just going to give a scenario and basically y'all could get back to me later. So, recently I was in a situation where I have been flirting with someone who is not much younger than me. I would say they're in their 30s. Um, maybe late 20s, early 30s. Say late 20s, maybe like 29, somewhere between 29 and 33, 34. So anyway, I have been flirting with them. Now, I haven't flirted with them in months, but I did flirt with them yesterday. And it was brought to my attention that my flirting um, was unwelcomed. It was it was unwelcome flirting. The flirting was not required or desired. And when I first met this person, I did have I was intrigued by them. I was infatuated by them. Meeting them, seeing how they navigated their energy, just their wholeness. I found it fascinating. Very, and so I went through a brief infatuation. Now, yesterday when I flirted, it was more so because we developed this kind of connection that was like a backwards and forwards kind of banter. Like, when I would flirt, they would always say something that would kind of wear me out, like a read or something, like something snarky, something like to chop me up. And so I started enjoying that. And so I kind of would like say stuff just to get a reaction. Like it had become that. Because for months, like, we've been engaging, we've been, communicating via social media. We've been, looking at each other's stories, looking at each other's posts. And it hasn't been anything sexual. But yesterday they made a post and I made a sexual joke. So it wasn't a sexual joke, but it was kind of like I'ma inspect you. Like I want to inspect you in person. Like I want to give you an in-person inspection. And they were expressing to some of our mutual friends that it made them feel uncomfortable. And so I want to ask my subscribers because I want to ask the people who follow me because I've never set a boundary. Like I've had people to set boundaries with me and to say, "Hey, this makes me feel uncomfortable when you say that to me." And and first of all, I want to go on record of saying this. I hope that I am the type of person that no one ever feels like they cannot tell me, "Hey, this makes me feel uncomfortable. This makes me feel away. Could you not do that?" I really hope that I don't give off an impression or an energy that makes people feel like they can't say, "I don't like that. Could you not do that? That makes me feel uncomfortable." So I just really hope that. I hope that if I ever make someone feel uncomfortable or make someone feel awkward, that they feel they can come to me themselves directly and say, "Hey, you know, I don't know what your intentions are, but I would prefer you not do that." And so, with that being said, I want to put that out there first. I want to preface it by saying that I just hope that I carry myself in a way where I seem approachable, and I do seem like a person where you could come up to me and you could say, "Hey, when you did this, it made me feel uncomfortable, and I would prefer us not to engage like that, or I would prefer for us just, I would prefer for that not to happen. With that being said, I would like, because I don't have experience with setting boundaries, I've never told someone, could you stop flirting with me? That makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I've never done that. And so I want, people who've had to set boundaries. Cause baby, when I tell you I've had a lot of people to flirt with me, a lot of people to say things to me that were inappropriate, a lot of people to, do certain things. And I've never felt the need to set a boundary. Like I've never felt the need to say, could you not do that? And so I want to talk about why is it that some people feel the need to set a boundary? Because I felt like it would have been awkward to have the conversation then, because so I want to have the conversation here because I use my platform for therapy. So I would like some of my subscribers to explain to me, why do people feel the need to set boundaries when it comes to flirtation? Um like if the flirtation is, and there's no justification for it, like I'm not here to justify my actions at all. If something that I'm doing makes you feel uncomfortable, then you should be able to communicate that. You should be able to say that makes me feel uncomfortable, I don't like that. But what we're doing now is we're having dialogue, because I'm a communicator, and I like to understand why some people feel the need to set boundaries in that way. I definitely would understand setting a boundary if you felt like it was if you felt like the advances were becoming more intense, if you felt like they were about to become physical, if you felt unsafe. Like these are things that I could surmise myself. Now, in my flirtatiousness, I'm never gonna cross a line and touch a person inappropriately. Although I find that it's different, um, because most of the time I find that beings who set boundaries with me typically are AMAB beings, beings assigned male at birth. Beings who are assigned female at birth. Um, Now, some trans men, I have had a trans man that has needed to set a boundary, but um, it's either AMAB or masculine centered beings. But beings who lean more towards their femininity, like or trans women, or lesbian women, they don't feel uncomfortable when I flirt with them. So, yeah, and of course, and of course, cisgender men, most of them don't feel uncomfortable either. So a lot of cisgender men don't feel uncomfortable. In fact, I'm kind of nervous about flirting with them because they're gonna take it too far. Because I could be innocently flirting, and the next thing you know, he's ready to have. So you can't really flirt with them too much, because then it goes all the way to the left. With lesbian women, I find that a lot of them will flirt with me inappropriately, or they will just like be like, it just kind of like shock me, because I'm like, girl, I didn't even know that was for me and you, girl. Like, I didn't even know we was on that type of time. But lesbian women will flirt with me, and I mean just be flirting their ass off like regularly, and I'm never offended by it. Like I've never felt the need to set a boundary. And also with trans women, we flirt and play with each other, like, and it be physical sometimes with trans women, like grabbing each other ass and touching each other, like we really be getting it in. But it's never got to the point to where I'm not gonna say I've never had sex with a trans woman, because I've had sex with a few trans women, but most of the time it was for money, or it was a couples thing, or you know um or or one time, I was trying to impress this boy that I like, and so I gave his trans girlfriend some head. So it was like that, and we was full, and child, we was cutting up, girl. We was drunk, and we was high, girl, and we was doing the most, girl. But I ain't never just kind of like it's two trans girls that I almost had sex with, but we never really had sex. So my point is that with trans women, if they're into it, if they're into it, even if it's not a sexual thing, because I have trans siblings who play and flirt with, but we would never have sex with each other. But we do play and flirt with each other, but we would never sleep together. Like, we've touched each other inappropriately and things like that, but we would never. And so, and then there's, lesbian females that I play with and that I flirt with, but we would never have sex. It would never happen. And so, but with AMAB beings assigned male at birth, who do lean in towards their feminine, there has been a couple of situations. There's been more than one situation where they've had to set a boundary with me. Like, where they were like, look, I'm not sexually attracted to you. I'm not attracted to you in a romantic way. This makes me feel weird, or this makes me feel awkward. And I've had a younger trans man, to be like, hey, this was years ago. This was like 10 years ago though. But the two AMAB beings, this was recent, because one AMAB being was last year and one AMAB being was this year. So I wanted to ask my subscribers who are knowledgeable about things like this, and who could give me some context, and who could give me some examples about why those boundaries might be set. I think the reason why I'm giving more thought to it is because, again, I don't ever want a person to feel like they can't just say to me, this makes me feel uncomfortable, or I really don't like when you do this. Could you not say things like that? Or could you not, like, just be clear and say, like, don't do the reading and the creepy reading, like, because that's not really saying that this makes you feel uncomfortable, because bitches read each other all the time. Like, say, like, this makes me feel uncomfortable, like, I don't like this, like, and I don't know, I think sometimes with AMAB beings, in my experience, some of them like the attention and they like to be desired, but at some point it's like, I'm gonna shade you, bitch, and let you, like, I think that side of them comes out, that is connected to some form of femininity, and it's like, I'm finna gather you because, bitch, you tried it. But at the same time, there's this side of them that wants their ego stroked, and wants the attention, but doesn't want the intimacy, or doesn't want the physicalness. So there's because that's a part for me that's perplexing. If you don't like the comments, or if you don't like what's being said, then just articulate that. Just say, I don't like what you're doing. Stop doing it. Because this is, men tell me all the time, we grown, and if you're being honest and you're saying how you feel, we're grown. Say how you feel, like, use your words. But if it makes you feel uncomfortable, again, I'm not here to make justifications for my actions. Um, Yeah, there's no justification. This is not me making excuses. This is not me trying to justify. But I do like to learn. I do like information. So, if there's no immediate danger, if this person isn't going to try to sexually assault you, if this person is not going to try to rape you, if this person is not sexually harassing you every day, if this person is not sexually harassing you every week, every month, like if this person is not, because the last time that I may have said something that was flirty with them was probably in June. And we talk, like we communicate in some form, like we watch each other's content or we'll engage with each other comment wise. And it's December, and I made a flirtatious comment yesterday, and the last time that I made a flirtatious comment was probably in June. And so it's not I'm constantly like just harassing you, like just really just hard up. It's not. These are definitely not the vibes, because I realized, just after being around the person more, spending more time with the person, I no longer saw them in a sexual or a romantic way. Um, yeah, I didn't look at them like that anymore. Like I see them as a sibling, but a girl's still gonna give her givings. Like if you bored and you trying to entertain yourself and chill and you see an opportunity, you're attractive. I'm like that. I'm gonna let you know you're attractive. Let me tell you something. I have flirted with my daughters, like my daughters, like I flirt with them and play with them, like and be like, girl, look at all that ass, girl. Come on, titties, girl. And I've grabbed my daughter's titties and squeezed my daughter ass. Girl, I done put my finger in my motherfucking daughter ass crack. And I would never have sex with her. Like we would never lay down and fuck. Like it's literally just entertaining myself. Like it's literally just being silly. Like, So I don't know. And when I was growing up, my grandmother, she always used to spank my ass, and I never understood it. Like my grandmother used to spank my ass. And I'm not going to bring up this person by name, but this was one of my mentors. And she was female, and she used to always joke with me about us bumping clits, and about putting her clit in my pussy and all this. Like we would, like she would talk to me nasty and sexual, but I knew we was never gonna have sex. I knew we was just talking shit. Like, so I don't know. It's different with different people. Like some people feel comfortable playing like that. Some people don't feel comfortable playing like that. So I guess for me, I'm trying to figure out, for the people who set those boundaries, what happens that makes them need to create the boundary. Do you think that it's something that happened in the past? Do you think that there's some trauma there? Do you think that there's some issues there? Do you think it's just normal to set boundaries like that? Do you think that it's a generational thing? Do you think that it's a what, depending on, what generation you from? Do you think that boundaries are set more amongst certain parts of the LGBT community? Do you think it's more of a non-binary thing? Like, what are your thoughts? Because I have thoughts, but I don't want my thoughts to be the only, like I want to hear other people's opinion. I want to hear other people's feelings. So if you want to leave the comments in the comment section, let me know, why do you think people set boundaries, and how do you think the best way it is to set a boundary? Like, do you think that the moment that a person says something to you that maybe you deem uncomfortable, or it makes you feel makes you feel awkward, a boundary should be set. And also, um for me, setting a boundary with a person, like allowing people to say things to me um inappropriately that I'm attracted to, um I don't know, it's just a slippery slope for me, because for me it seems like maybe nobody should be saying inappropriate things to me. Maybe nobody should be making like inappropriate gestures or things like that. Like maybe we should all maybe the engagement should be like we're all trying to get to know each other, and I'm not going to say it's okay for you to make inappropriate comments to me just because I would sleep with you. Like I low key legit would sleep with you. And I it's not okay for you to make, sexual comments to me or flirtatious comments to me, cuz I would never sleep with you. So, that makes me feel weird. That makes me feel funny because I would never sleep with you. But with you, you can say those things to me because I probably would sleep with you. Like how does that happen? Like how like like how do you make those determinations? Like how is that clear? Like how is that clear in a queer community where, we don't judge based off of gender or sex? Like in a queer community, how is it determined who can make comments to you and who cannot? Like do you at some point say like, hey, I don't know if you're looking at me in a sexual way or if you're physically attracted to me, but I'm not physically attracted to you, and because I'm not physically attracted to you, I would prefer you not say sexual things to me. And then this other person over here who you are sexually attracted to, they can make sexual comments to you because you are sexually attracted to them. And so the question then becomes, what determined that? Like, if there's never been a conversation about what you're physically attracted to, or what is it inappropriate to have those conversations? Like, is it inappropriate to have a conversation with someone you're not attracted to about what you are attracted to, so that they can know, okay, so if this person is attracted to A, B, and C, and I'm D, F, and G, then I know I shouldn't be making comments like that to them because they're attracted to A, B, and C. And in the queer community, is it fair to just assume that because a person is presenting feminine or looks feminine or acts feminine, that they automatically want to be with something that presents as masculine and appears as masculine? Like, is that a fair assumption? So in the queer community, because things are so ambiguous and things are so clear, it's like, I don't know. I think um when I was younger, um, I was not attracted to feminine males, beings who were assigned male at birth and were feminine. I would be like, ooh, I would never talk to that faggot, or I would never talk to, ooh, that's a punk, that's, and so part of me feels like the whole idea of me even entertaining queer or AMAP individuals is because it's like I'm trying to prove to myself that I don't discriminate against them. And so then when an male person shades me and tells me they need to set a boundary with me, it's kind of like, bitch. If that makes any sense. Because 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I would have never looked at a male person who was feminine and be like, okay, girl, I'll try it. Like I would have been like, give me a manly, give me something. I don't want no gender queer. I don't want no feminine. I don't want it, I don't want that. Like, and people would have judged me for that, and they would have been like, oh, that's not right. Even like being interested in a trans man. Like 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 um like when I got closer to my 30s, that was when I was able to really like understand a trans man and really have the maturity to like want to be with a trans man. And but in my early 20s, that would have been bulldagging. That would have been like being a dyke. Like that was where I was mentally. Even though I was wanted to be respected as what I was, I would have looked at a trans man, who was probably the same place I was in my transition. I would just looked at them as a stud. And so I just find the irony in me trying so hard to be open minded and make myself open to AMABs and trans masculine beings, and these the motherfuckers setting boundaries. The irony is insane. And so it's like, should I go back to being toxically feminine? I was like, should I go back to being toxically feminine? Because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like I don't know. I need y'all to like, how do you navigate that in the queer community? Like how do you, because if they flirt, because they're not gonna flirt with you, because you could misread that. You could take that the wrong way and you could be like, oh, that's inappropriate. That makes me feel weird. And if I say something to you, then it's inappropriate and it feels weird. And so, where is the dialogue to find out what's okay and what's not okay? And, because in, a normal, well, not a normal, but in the typical relationships that I have, if a boy likes me or if a man likes me, he lets me know by saying certain things. If I'm attracted to him, I let him know by saying certain things. And it's not awkward and it's not weird and it's not uncomfortable. But in the queer community, there's this awkwardness and this weirdness. And also I'm navigating, trying to mature past where I was 25 years ago, where I was not open to certain things and I would never do certain things and I would have never even considered certain things. And now I'm considering it and I'm navigating it the way that I know how, based on the experiences that I have. And yeah, it's just, and I don't want to go back to being toxically feminine where I'm like, I don't mess with that because I need this, like back in the, because baby, I need a real and da da da, like all of that toxic ass vibrato, that the girls used to give. Cause girl, I'm a girl and I need a man and I don't do all that sissy and girl and this and girl. That ain't no real one. That ain't no real man. Like I have sisters and trans siblings who are trans women who think like that and who talk like that, you know. And so I just want somebody from my generation. Like, I'm definitely willing to hear the younger generation, but I also want to hear people from my generation. I want to hear different generations respond to this comment. So please, because nobody came on the live and said anything. So, but y'all did engage. I see the thumbs up. Thank you. But I definitely want y'all to come in the comment section at some point. I would love to hear your thoughts, Aaron, and specifically, I would love to hear what you have to say. I would love to hear what I am that I am has to say. I would love to hear what 100% Pure Love has to say. Um, I don't know if I want to hear what Hey Faith have to say, cause girl, you might read, girl, you might read the children, girl, cause you don't really have no patience with stuff like that. But girl, leave a comment, girl, if you feel like leaving a comment, sister. Yeah, but I definitely want to hear from 100% Pure Love. I want to hear from Aaron. I want to hear from I Am That I Am. It's a few other people that I can't name off of the top of my head right now. But yeah, I definitely want I know I want to hear, y'all thoughts about this and your feedback, and just to help me, because then I want to do a smaller video from my TikTok once, I've taken into consideration some of my subscribers' opinions and just heard their full point of view about how you would navigate it, how I should navigate it in the future. Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to y'all feedback. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm excited. I got over 4,000 subscribers now. Been getting really, really good views. Almost to my second check. The earnings are, it's moving. It's getting a little steadier pace now. We gotta pick it up. We gotta pick up the momentum, y'all. But yeah. Anyway, Dambada say cool, keep spinning and turning, Iangani, Iyanko, Kalukalo, which means I'm a child of God goddess. And if I am, you are bound and round, both circle and square. We too speak life, so operations beware, sending healing to those in despair. El Babosawa, which means we come in peace, no harm to any. Lay lim, lay lur, lay lur, lay lim. We could both live on the side of her and him. Y'all have a good night and rest well. And I will check in with y'all soon. Please leave some comments so that I could get your feedback and know your thoughts, because I do want to be the type of person who listens to what other people have to say. Amen, a woman. Y'all have a good night. Later. Love you. Mwah.